Agriculture has been a proud part of Stow's community identity since colonial times. Like the Assabet River, our remaining farms producing fresh local produce are among Stow's defining features. Save Stow's Farms is an initiative of the Stow Conservation Trust, the Town of Stow, and others. We are working with local farmers to craft cost-effective strategies to preserve their land and help their farms remain viable businesses for the benefit of Stow residents for generations to come. We have some compelling opportunities immediately before us. Carver Hill Orchard has been in the Lord Fletcher family for more than 150 years. Chuck Lord operated the orchard for several decades prior to retiring recently. His son Matt has stepped forward to continue the family's farming legacy at Carver Hill, pending a successful conclusion to his effort to conserve it.
It always was my husband's desire to keep the family farm as it is. Even though we owned over 100 acres in Bolton, it wasn't the same. This was the home farm. This, he never wanted it to be cut up, wanted it to remain as a whole. And Chuck, from the time he was a little boy, always had an affiliation with it because he stayed with his father. They worked as a team, and it means a lot to keep it in perpetuity. My earliest memory of this farm is marrying into the Lord and Fletcher family and the 4th of July picnics that we always had here across the street in what we call Aunt Lou's house, which is now the Picker's house. So the whole family, the 4 daughters and their families, all got together. It was kind of a command performance. Well, I believe my husband's family came to this site in the early 1800s. So it's been in the family all those many years, from CD to my mother-in-law, to my husband, to my son, and to my grandson.
My hopes and dreams for the future of Carver Hill is to carry on what has already been established here. My parents do a fantastic job of making people feel welcome and happy, and want to give them an enjoyable time that is a simple farm. I think that's important. It's what we do best. I don't know if we would be able to do the bouncy houses and the petting zoos and all that stuff. It gives an opportunity for people to come across, have a conversation with them, hear a little bit about them, tell them a little bit about here, and it's almost like my dad said, coming across that bridge is a time warp. You really do feel like you're going back in time, and I think in order to make the farm fit into that timeline, you have to keep it that way. So to kind of just keep it, not as status quo, because as time goes by you have to update some things, but basically to make people feel welcome. And hopefully I make my dad proud and continue that.
Yes, Matt didn't really start out to be a farmer, except when he was little. I remember him with a saw, out sawing some of the trees in Bolton, as did his father when he was a little boy, always out there with a saw, pruning when he shouldn't be, but pruning. So Matt, I think, has found his niche. You're your own boss. It's your own time. Maybe you're not going to make a lot of money, but it's a good life.
Keeping this farm long-term as an agricultural entity was something that my father and I had talked about. It had been in this family for so long. And it was, to us, it was it was an asset to everybody. We never shut the doors to this place. People fished in the pond and on the brook. We never said they couldn't come here. They couldn't walk the orchard. They couldn't enjoy what Mother Nature gave us to enjoy. We all believed, and still do, that to share this is something that's a gift, and we need to share it. Anybody that comes here knows there are no fences. We let people go. I invite people when they're shopping in the store to come at apple blossom time and wander the orchard, have a picnic. We don't have anything to sell, but we are selling a nice day. And that's all we try to do here. I mean, this is part of the reason why we like to keep it the way it is. Because as everyone knows, if it's a housing development, it's everybody's yard. If it's a farm, it's everybody's farm. So we try to keep it that way. And hopefully we'll be able to. It's our aim. I think it's our legacy to do that. It's been in the family so long. And we'll see how it all plays out. But it's our preference for the town to enjoy this place. And we'll see how that plays out.
Small Farm was started on Gleasondale Road in 1992 on the site of the former Stevenson Brothers sawmill. Barb and Dwight Seipler put their passion for farming into a second career by developing this property into a local agricultural landmark that they named Small Farm. Barbara passed away last year, and Dwight will continue farming at Small Farm. The property will then be sold or leased for continued farming.
The main reason I'm a farmer is it's my gym membership. It keeps me busy, gets me fresh air. I get plenty of sunshine and a little rain now and then to wash me off. That's about it. The number of farms in Massachusetts has increased over the last 10 years. The area of the farms has decreased over the last 10 years. So there are a lot of really small farms, and something like 80% of the farms gross less than $10,000. So these are part-time jobs. Actually, something like 80% of the farms in the whole country require people to have a second job to make ends meet. Farming is not always a lucrative business, but it's a nice lifestyle. I've met a lot of farmers, and they're all nice people. So the people who don't want to work might try farming, but they don't try it very long. We try to make the farm family friendly. We have a picnic table that people can have their lunch at. We don't charge for that. Some people would, but it's just part of the farm. This farm has the advantage that it's visible from a main road. And there are a lot of farms that are out back where you don't see them. And they're just as important. But this is part of the rural character of Stow, even though Stow is really a bedroom community for Boston and maybe Worcester. We've been farming here for maybe, 29 years now. This will be the 29th year. And I don't have any kids. There's nobody that is going to pass on. I have nobody to pass it on to. The typical thing that happens when a farm with no heirs goes under if I'm no longer able to do it is that it gets sold for development. And I have this feeling after farming it for a while that the highest and best use of agricultural land is agriculture. And so I want to make sure that it's used for that purpose. And like I said, this land has very few rocks in most of the areas. There's a few bony spots, but not too bad. And it perks great. Houses would go up in an instant, but then we wouldn't have a local farm. Local agriculture has gotten much bigger over the years, so I want to see it continue. Probably 30 years ago, American Farmland Trust did this cost of community services study, which showed that residential property cost the town about $1.25 for every dollar they took in taxes, because school system, fire, police, emergency services, all that stuff costs the town money. Industrial land costs, I've forgotten the numbers, it's like 50 cents for every dollar that they take in. Open space was something like 25 cents for every dollar they take in. So open space is a really good deal for a town. Obviously you can't have a town comprised only of open space, but we have a pretty good start here with houses. And the people in Stow have shown that they're interested in preserving open space, and I'm no different. I think it's worth doing.
Please, help save Stow's Farms. We need your help in raising at least $125,000, SCT's pledge towards making the protection of these 2 Stow Farm assets a reality. We also ask for your support at Stow's annual town meeting on May 1st and 2nd. Donations should be sent to the Stow Conservation Trust at P.O. Box 397, Stow, Massachusetts 01775, or online at www.stowconservationtrust.org.
Save Stow's Farms.
Save Stow's Farms!
It's one of our greatest assets again. Thank you.
Let's save Stow's Farms!
Save Stow's Farms, please.
Save Stow's Farms! Save Stow's Farms!
For your own health, save Stow's Farm.